Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm showing you how to make this cute Valentine's Day sign with your Cricut. It just turned out so cute and I'm excited to show you how to make your own. So let's go take a look at the supply list and get started. For this project you'll need black and red adhesive vinyl, transfer tape, a weeding tool and scraper, a wood pallet sign, and mine measures 8 inches by 10 inches, a little wood piece for your sign, and mine measures 6 inches by 1.5 inches, paint and brushes, ribbon, a corrugated metal heart, rope, Spanish moss, a glue gun and glue, and of course your Cricut, a cutting mat, and the cut file. So grab your supplies and head over to your computer. The first thing we need to do is grab the SVG file we'll be using for this project. You can get it for free on my blog at burtonavenue.com. I keep all the SVG files for the projects I make and share in my free SVG library. These files will work with all kinds of cutting machines and they're free to everyone. Once you're on my site, just go to Free SVG Files and then click on Free SVG Library. You will need a password to get into the library, and there are instructions on the screen if you need to get one. For this project, we're going to be using the cut file called XOXO Heart BA2146. To find it, just use your browser search and enter 2146. Once you found the file, go ahead and click on that link, and the files will be downloaded onto your computer. So I'm going to show you how to set up and cut this design in Cricut Design Space. If you're not sure how to unzip and import designs into Cricut Design Space, be sure to check out my step-by-step tutorial. So this is what the design will look like when you first import it onto your Canvas screen. So now we just need to resize it so that it will work with our project. To do that, I'm going to create a rectangle that is the same size of the little piece of wood that this vinyl is going to go on. So I'm going to click on Shapes, and then I'm going to choose Square, and then I'm going to go up here and unlock the padlock and put in the dimensions of my wood. And it measures about 6 inches across and 1.5 inches high. I'm also going to change the color of it to white, and then I'm going to click Arrange and choose Send to Back. And then you can just select the design and drag it onto that rectangle, and then slide up on these arrows and resize the design until it looks good on that rectangle. So I think that size looks good. It's about 5.25 of an inch wide and just over an inch tall. Once you're happy with the size, you can select the rectangle and delete it. Now the black part of this design is already welded together, and you can see that over here on the right panel. And then there's just the little red heart, so we don't even need to attach anything on this design. And we are ready to cut. So let's click on the green Make It button. And then you'll be taken to this screen. And on this screen, Cricut is just going to divide our design on the 2 different cutting mats that correspond with the colors in the design. So this first mat we're going to cut out of black vinyl. And then this second mat has the little red heart, and I'm going to cut that out of a red glitter vinyl. And these will both be adhesive vinyls. Once everything looks good on this screen, you can click on the green Continue button. And once Design Space finds your Cricut, you'll be taken to this screen. Make sure that your dial is set to vinyl. And for this project, we're just going to be using a fine point blade, and you'll need to put that in clamp B. And now we can go load our cutting mat. So you're going to place your piece of black vinyl on your cutting mat and smooth it down. Load it into your Cricut by pressing the up and down arrow button. When your Cricut is ready to cut, you'll see the C button light up. Press that and the machine will begin cutting. When everything has been cut, you can press the up and down arrow button again to unload your mat. Remove the black vinyl from your cutting mat and place on a piece of red vinyl, and repeat those steps until everything has been cut. Remove the vinyl from your cutting mat and trim away any unused portion of the vinyl. Then weed away the excess vinyl from around your design. You can use a weeding tool to help you pull out the pieces inside of the letters. Next, place a piece of transfer tape sticky side up on your work surface, and then place your vinyl on top of that. Rub over it firmly with your scraper, and then trim off the excess transfer tape and vinyl backing and cut apart the 2 designs. Next, we're going to work on painting the little wooden sign. Sand your wood so it's nice and smooth, and then paint on a couple of coats of white paint and let that dry. The wood pallet sign I'm using looks like it has been distressed with some gray paint. To match that look, I dipped a dry brush in some gray paint and dabbed most of the paint off. Then I lightly brushed the bristles across my wood piece to mimic the look on the sign. Once that paint has dried, it's time to apply the vinyl design. Remove the vinyl backing from the black vinyl and carefully position it on the sign without pushing it down. Then do the same with the red heart. You might need to trim the transfer tape so it doesn't overlap the other piece. Once you're happy with the placement, rub over the design with your scraper and then carefully pull off the transfer tape. Next, we're going to work on the corrugated metal heart. The heart I'm using has 2 little holes at the top for hanging. To cover the holes, I used some rope and just glued it all around the edge of the heart. For the ribbon, I used 2 pieces, both found at Dollar Tree. I just glued that ribbon down the center of the burlap lace ribbon to keep it in place. Now that everything's ready to go, let's assemble this sign. Place the ribbon down the center of your pallet sign. Flip your sign over and glue the ribbon to the back and then trim off the edges. Add some hot glue all over the back of the corrugated metal heart and then press that onto the center of your wood pallet sign. Now grab a handful of Spanish moss and glue it inside the heart, underneath where you'll be putting your little wooden sign. Trim off any moss that is covering the rope. Position the little wooden sign over the metal heart. It can be straight or angled, both ways look cute. Glue the sign onto the rope and trim off any moss that looks out of place. And that's it, this project is finished. And didn't it turn out cute? If you enjoyed this video and want to see more like it, be sure to subscribe to my channel and click on the notification bell so you'll get notified each time I post something new.